boosted, Terra Electric boosted, Choice Specs boosted, Discharge isn't enough damage! It
didn't even need the double protect, but Miraidon claims its first championship in Regulation G.
Miraidon just shocked the VGC world this weekend in the Indianapolis Regional Championships, overcoming low tier list placement and overall doubt in the Pokemon's ability. I always saw potential in Miraidon, placing it 6th overall in my tier list. However, I'd be lying if I said I thought Miraidon was going to win the entire regional. I'm going to break down how Miraidon caught the VGC world off guard and became the first restricted Pokemon to win a regional championship in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video. I'll be explaining how to receive your very own Pokepaste of the Indianapolis Regional Champions team so you too can take Miraidon for a spin. But before I explain how Miraidon shocked the world, I must first teach you what Miraidon does. Miraidon is an electric dragon restricted Pokemon that has a very good stat line, reaching 670 in total. Carrying a base 100 HP defense and 115 special defense, so this is not easy to clear. A low 85 attack stat, which is pretty good considering foul play is in the meta, as well as the fact that Miraidon is a special attacker, so it doesn't need that stat. A 135 special attack stat and 135 speed stat. Now this speed stat is very important because this speed interacts with Chien-Pao, Koraidon, and Flutter Mane, and the fact that a timid max speed Miraidon can speed tie all of those Pokemon except Flutter Mane if it is booster speed increased. However, if the Flutter Mane is booster speed, unless it's in Sun, chances are that its damage output is weakened because it needs to have those EVs in speed and the nature in speed as well. This works to Miraidon's favor, especially when the Miraidon chooses to Terra. Miraidon has the ability Hadron Engine. Now this creates an electric terrain when entering battle, and it boosts the special attack of Miraidon by roughly 33% when in battle. This is notably special for Miraidon because it also gets the boost even if it isn't grounded to the terrain. When electric terrain is active, it envelops the field and replaces the background environment of any other terrain that is already in effect. The terrain lasts for 5 turns unless you have a terrain extender. It also boosts the power of electric type moves by 30%. As well as preventing Pokemon from being afflicted by Sleep or Yawn. Rajan chose to put the Choice Specs item on their Miraidon, further boosting the special attack output by 50%. This is over 100% in boost that this Pokemon is receiving, meaning that most resisted hits are almost becoming neutral hits at this point. The 4 moves that Miraidon was carrying this weekend was its signature move Electro Drift, which further boosts its damage by 33% more if it is a super effective hit. Draco Meteor, which is one of the strongest neutral damaging hits in the game. Discharge, which is a very scary spread damage move that can avoid all those redirections. And Volt Switch as its final move. So I move over to the team here and we see how Rajan chose to support the team. You start off with the Miraidon as we talked about with the Terra Electric, and it's just mainly getting a lot of boost. You have the Hadron Engine boost, the Electric Terrain boost, the 50% Choice Specs boost, as well as the Electro Drift 33% boost. You also add the Terra Electric to get more boost on your electric moves, and as well as ditching some of the dragon weaknesses. Ursaluna Blood Moon was an interesting choice for the team, and it was for the Farigiraf mode where it has speed control built in. It's also a good counter to the Mirror since it is a ground type Pokemon and a normal type Pokemon, countering both Calyrex, Shadow Rider, and the Miraidon Mirror. This Pokemon was ran with the Life Orb, getting the 30% damage boost, Terra Normal to further boost his move, Mind's Eye so it can hit those ghost types, with the normal basic setup on this, Hyper Voice, Blood Moon, Earth Power, and Protect. Ogerpon Cornerstone was another Pokemon that we saw Rajan utilize very well this weekend. This was a great Pokemon that Rajan generally stuck in the back for those Among Us, and while you do have the electric terrain with the Miraidon, it was very nice having 2 Pokemon that were naturally immune to Among Us in Whimsicott and Ogerpon. Sometimes the Miraidon was not always the best optimal swap in. You didn't want to take a certain amount of damage on it. And so having a natural immune Pokemon was very nice, and they played this very, very well. Now this was Terra Rock to just get more stab damage. Ivy Cudgel, Power Whip, Follow Me, and Spiky Shield, so you have some redirection here. And very importantly, you have the second Focus Sash on the team with Sturdy, as well as the Whimsicott carrying the Focus Sash. So this team required a ton of focusing to really target down a lot of the Pokemon, and a lot of the Pokemon just don't KO very easily. Blood Moon's not an easy KO. You have to double this to KO it. Farigiraf is not a very easy KO, holding the Electric Seed as well to boost up his defense stat. Incineroar, not an easy KO. Assault Vest as well. Whimsicott, Focus Sash, you have to double into this. The typing is very awkward for the format. Grass and Fairy, not an easy KO. So this team was very, very resilient in having to grind through it while dealing very oppressive damage with the Miraidon and the Ursaluna Blood Moon, and offering 2 forms of speed control with Farigiraf and Whimsicott. If you wanted to go Trick Room, you could go Trick Room. If you wanted to go Tailwind, you can go Tailwind. And then the Farigiraf could also come if you wanted to go Tailwind, but you saw a lot of priority moves, right, for your Miraidon. Very, very interesting team, very well built. The Farigiraf is up next. Terra Ground, I'm assuming for the mirror match, because this can, as we've gone over and seen all the boosts on this Pokemon, Choice Specs, Hadron Engine, Electro Drift, Terrain Boost, a Terra Electric Boost, Boost because it's just a cool Pokemon. Everything that this Pokemon gets going for it, Farigiraf's not living that, right? So if you get the defense boost, that's very nice. You're using your terrain to your advantage. You can also lead Miraidon plus Farigiraf, no fake out, and you can just helping hand and boost it even further. If you thought there was not another way to boost this Pokemon on the team, you're wrong. Here it is. Helping hand, further boost this Miraidon and do even more damage. Terra Blast, Terra Ground, very interesting. Assuming for this just mirror match, maybe the mirror match is super scary. Foul Play, Calyrex Shadow Rider is in the metagame, as well as Ice Rider. Hits both of these, one for 4 times, and the other one, if it boosts up even once, is just in trouble. Trick Room, just have the speed control, and then Helping Hand just to help your other Pokemon out. A lot of these Pokemon actually do a lot of damage. Ogerpon, that's a lot of damage. Rock, 100 base moves. Power Whips, 120 base, that's a lot of damage. Blood Moon, we all know how much damage this does. This is scary, 90 and 140, paranormal. Miraidon, we don't have to cover how much damage this does. It does a ton. Incineroar, believe it or not, this does a lot of damage. This is an AV set. Generally, when the AV is involved, the attack stat is increased because you don't need as much special defense and you don't need the speed. Generally, it's coming for Trick Room. And you're not worried about the fake out mirror, so you don't need to speed creep this Pokemon because you have Farigiraf, who is preventing fake outs from happening. So this Incineroar came, very interesting with the AV. Helps with the Miraidons because I'm sure it can help it live a hit. Terra Grass also resists Miraidon for the mirror match, as well as resisting and being immune to that spore with Amoonguss. Not that you don't have a way to cut it off with the Miraidon's electric terrain, as well as the Follow Me from the Ogerpon, as well as the Incineroar Terra Grass, as well as a normal grass type. Amoonguss feels really great to come into this team, but also really bad at the same time, which is the beauty of this team. Flare Blitz, Knock Off, Fake Out, and U-Turn. Just the standard Assault Vest moves. This to pivot, get some really good damage off, and then the Knock Off and the Flare Blitz, just very, very good moves for this Pokemon. Again, probably a high attack stat. Lastly, you had the Whimsicott. Terra goes to dodge those fake outs. Since it is holding the Focus Sash, you do not want to fake out to just chip your Sash. Also makes a very hard read for this Pokemon if you want to lead a fake out to it. Does it just protect? Does it encore you into fake out? Those are big questions to ask when facing this Pokemon down. Stab Moonblast, a lot of damage, hits the Urshifus, very good move. Tailwind for speed control. The Encore, as we said, we saw a lot of Calm Mind Terapagos coming into this. Nasty plot on the Calyrex Shadow Riders, and there's just a ton of setup there, you know. Fake Out plus Calm Mind Raging Bolt, still a thing that was going around in the metagame. Very good meta call, and very, very, very easy to punish certain setups, fake outs, and things of that nature. Protect because you don't want your Sash gone and to use in the end games. Good leads for this team. We saw Rajon lead Miraidon plus Incineroar, fake out and just Volt Switch. This is a great lead because you can just scout what the opponent's doing. You have the speed for this with a 135 speed step. You're allowed to go out. Terra, if something outspeeds you, let's say a Booster Energy Flutter Mane outspeeds you, you can just Terra Electric, get the damage boost, Volt Switch out of there, and have the Incineroar get some value with Intimidate and something on a partner Pokemon. And then you could bring in another Pokemon like a Whimsicott that's going to resist a hit coming into this, or even just bring in your Ogerpon. Something from the back that just wants to come into the matchup. And then chip away, and you kind of have this Whimsicott mode set up for the Miraidon where you can get speed control with Tailwind. We also saw, I've seen Farigiraf plus Miraidon leads. This is a clear lead with the Electric Seed. Get the defense boost. Get this Pokemon just doing massive damage, helping hand. If this is extremely threatened, go into Trick Rooms, probably put your Incineroar in the game or your Ursaluna Blood Moon, right? Once that comes in the game, you could sweep under Trick Room. Getting this in Trick Room and playing through this would probably be miserable because then you have to face the in-game Miraidon. Incineroar Farigiraf could be very good with an Ursaluna. Fake out Trick Room, parting shot, or U-turn the next turn, and then go out into your Blood Moon. Survive the onslaught of Blood Moon, and then Miraidon cleans up the end game. Very, very good stuff. Then you could also just Miraidon plus Ogerpon. Follow me, just do massive, massive damage. Or even Ursaluna and Ogerpon. Follow me, Hyper Voice. Follow me, Hyper Voice. Chip it down, Death. Put in the Trick Room and keep on going off, or put in a Fake Out and go off, and then finish the game with a 135 base speed Miraidon doing insane damage. This team is extremely scary. It's just hyper offensive, but it also has 2 forms of speed control. This is a very, very well built team. Now, to play this Indianapolis Regional Championship team yourself, just go down to the description section. I will have the Pokepaste posted below. Once you click on the Pokepaste, head on over to Pokemon Showdown, go to the team builder, hit new team, import text, paste the paste right here, press the import export button, go up top to select a format, and then select Regulation G, then click validate, and you yourself will be ready to play the Regulation G ladder with this Miraidon team for yourself. I hope this video helped you understand the power of Miraidon and the potential this Pokemon has. I hope that the Pokepaste also helps you get practice on the ladder and at least understand how this team works, or potentially how to counter this team. I want to know down below in the comment section, what was your favorite part of the Indianapolis Regionals this weekend? Was it the new casting and Wolf Glick with Aaron? Was it the Miraidon's success? Or was it something else? Let me know down below. Until then, keep practicing, and I'll see you on the next video.